Is that where you have to find out the thing that's inside you?
It was inside of you the entire time.
It's like Clue. What's inside me?
Is that what Clue is about?
I think that's exactly what Clue's about. And that is what Screamers is about, which is the movie we'll be doing. Hey, we're Rabbit Troop Sucks, and welcome back. Tonight we're going to be looking at 1995's Screamers. It'll be a screaming good time. A military commander is stationed off-planet during an interplanetary war travels through the devastated landscape to negotiate a peace treaty, but discovers that the primitive robots that they built to kill enemy combatants have gained sentience. Screamers 1995. Hi, welcome back to Rabbit Troop Sucks. We're a podcast about obscure, forgotten about, and often overlooked films. And as always, I'm your host, Paul. Next to me is Mike.
I'm back.
He's back, baby. We got Lamar.
Hello.
Jeremy's still in the studio.
Cowabunga, dude.
Jeremy, you're living in Denver now.
Yeah.
And we got Collin.
Hey.
And we're all looking at Screamers, which is a crazy film that Jeremy picked. We never chose something. I said last time, with Collin, it was Collin's choice. Well, we never picked anything for Jeremy.
Yeah, we picked this. Well, I picked this.
Yeah.
So this
Thanks,
Jeremy's choice.
I thought it was shorter than it was.
How short did you think it was?
90 minutes.
That's
What the hell is that? Is that like a bullfrog?
There we go.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
That's the screamer.
If I had known that was the tone of the night, I wouldn't have held back.
Wow. Yeah, Jeremy, why select this sci-fi Screamers film?
I don't know. I remember watching this so many times back in my youth, and I mean, it's not like big budget sci-fi movie. It's kind of a sci-fi horror movie, but I just remember watching it several times back in my youth and like enjoying it. So that's why.
Yes. Has everyone seen Screamers outside of, I believe, Collin in this room?
Yeah. Not on and off
Okay.
pieces of it. Not enough to know what it's about.
Is there a sequel to this film?
I
I
certainly
don't know.
hope not.
Yeah.
I mean, if there is, I know it's like a low budget like offshoot. I just for some reason I should have looked that up.
I'm on it.
Okay.
Yes. 2009, Screamers The Hunting.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, see, I knew there
I
was
haven't
like
seen that.
something. I have also not seen that at any point.
And that was made in 2009.
Yeah.
Wow, like over
Jeremy,
14 years later.
you weren't alone. People were like, "I need some more Screamers."
With Peter?
It was getting too quiet.
No, with Lance Hendricksson though.
Lance.
I don't know.
Lamar has already walked out the steps. He's out the door.
Bye, Lamar.
Next, Screamers 2. Yeah,
I'd watch it.
this movie is super bizarre, and yeah, this movie has some ups and downs for me. So that's going to be how I kind of view this film. I mean, anything to do with some kind of dystopian backdrop. I know I took pictures, but who could summarize that opening crawl? It was like there was a mining company, and they teamed up with like the government, and now they didn't, and now now the miners and the soldiers are angry with one another, and there's a war, right?
Yeah, basically. Because the stuff they were mining, beranium or whatever, was giving people, it was radiation.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And the miners were like, this fucking sucks. And the government was like, it sucks to be you.
Well, I think it was the
Yeah.
opposite. I think the government was like, dude, you guys got to stop.
Oh, really?
And the corporation was like, we're not stopping. This
Sucks to
stuff
suck.
is awesome.
So was the
Okay.
protagonist in this movie part of the government, or was
Yes.
he part of like Mark Wahlberg's new economic bloc?
No, the new economic bloc were the guys they found later.
Okay.
So he was originally hired by the new economic bloc, but became part of like the resistance government chunk, the
Yeah,
alliance.
there's a lot that goes on.
It's,
So
it's a deep and layered film.
It is.
I often find the protagonist the clouds in the sky.
yeah,
Well, yeah, it's the teddy bear.
Yeah, the teddy bear is the protagonist.
yeah. So the first group of guys are the alliance.
Okay.
Yeah, so people are all angry with one another. Another dystopian future. And, as pointed out, Jeremy was like, I think this was filmed where Turbo Kid was filmed. Just one quarry.
Yeah.
which is half the movie. One big old quarry.
One quarry, a lot of it interior and what looks like a rundown Dave and Buster's. As you pointed out, Paul, it really did look like that.
Why would you have left? Yeah,
That's true.
We'll see Peter Weller in a little bit, but yeah, I mean, so we're outside of this fortress. This is basically what's happening. You don't really know what's going on, and some like rando guy is running around, and then some other like soldier-esque people. I'm trying to give it to you in the perspective of like how I was watching it. Like you really don't know what's happening. And some other soldier-esque people are like, we should shoot him, and they're like, no, let's see what's gonna go on. And then this Tremors like situation happens where the dirt is dug up and you see like trace lines coming from the ground. And this guy's like, oh. And he's shooting. And
it sounds exactly like him.
And he's shooting like Link. Oh. And he's successfully shooting these things, which sound like metal. So you're like, what the hell's going on? And, you know, these people are still looking at this guy. And then he gets mobbed by... I don't know, like sand stingrays. That's what screamers are.
Yeah.
Okay.
As they're walking or as they're coming by, they're slicing off his limbs one by one.
Yeah, no, it's really nice. These jackasses are watching this happen. Like, why are they not shooting this guy at all?
I don't know.
Like out of mercy, like a mercy kill.
Because they don't like him.
No mercy.
He's an NEB bitch, and they're not.
Yeah, but they're like, he seems like he wants to do something. Like, just at this point in time, just being human.
Yeah. Well, the girl looking down the rifle scope was crying, so
yeah. Well,
there's definitely an emotional component there.
The other guy threw up.
Yeah.
I'm glad everyone's feeling it.
That was weird.
It is weird. I mean,
no one else seemed to care about this later.
Again,
I don't know.
This is proving my point. Like the person crying and throwing up, like probably someone's like, yeah, just like one bullet mercy kill.
Never gets any easier.
Fire a mini nuke at him.
It's hard working the Alliance every day. I got a liquor machine and an endless supply of cigarettes, and sometimes I smoke the red ones to avoid radiation.
Yeah.
The red ones are my favorite.
I could go for one right now.
a red cigarette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's just smoking lead.
Probably. I think it's a red vine.
The red cigarettes are fine.
Yeah.
As long as there's radiation around, they'll keep you safe.
Yeah.
They call them red num-nums.
They do notice one thing as this guy's getting chopped up. In his hand, he has a cylinder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bomb.
Everybody
thought it was a bomb. In fact, I think one of them mentions as they're about to go out, isn't that a bomb? Don't go out and get that.
Yeah, you shouldn't make important messages look like a bomb.
Maybe it was a track runner and that was the baton that he was handing out.
Maybe.
Is that the commander's scroll or is that a pipe bomb?
But for some reason, they go out and get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this idiot is like, okay, like I'm gonna go out, and this one guy's like, you're an idiot, and this guy who is an idiot is right. He's like, why are you going out? He's like, this guy looked like he was trying to deliver us something, and then he goes out, like, honest to God, like 2 minutes after this, there were numerous screamers. Screamers look like they're, I don't know, maybe 2 feet by 9 inches, and they just look like razor blades in the sand.
It's like the size of a medium-sized raccoon.
Yeah, or like Roombas. They're like Roombas with razor blades.
Yeah.
Coming after you.
It's like battle bots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
And so there was a bunch, and hey, there's some more. Surprise. The guy's like alarmed. Like, oh. Like, dude, of course they're still there.
They didn't leave.
Yeah,
Well,
you've lived on this planet for how long, and
Right,
you're surprised.
They're actually still feeding off the body of this corporate soldier.
Well, yeah, and these things like drag the body parts down into the ground with them, and like I guess later on you'll learn that I guess they use like the organic material possibly to like
maybe.
yeah, who knows?
I mean,
they
Peter
use it
did
somehow.
Yeah. Oh boy.
But this guy, he has a device that keeps them away.
Yeah, and they
And
never
no one-
really seem to work.
Well, yeah. Well,
It works sometimes.
but
Yeah.
why don't the other guys have
Yeah,
them?
they have this bracelet.
There's only 2 in the entire.
They only have the 2.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
have this bracelet
That's what I was
that
thinking.
that
Have to
basically
share.
has like 2 lights, and one light is like it senses when these screamers are coming, and then the other light kind of activates like, "Hey, screamer, I'm a friend. Don't worry about it," and the screamer kind of just goes off.
All right.
Yeah, but a lot of times it doesn't work, and people are kind of like, "Yeah, it doesn't always work," and when it doesn't work, it takes off your hand. You're like, "Oh, So cool.
Right. So it either works or the opposite of work.
It also looks like it was like a B-side piece of equipment for the 80s laser tag gear.
Yes.
It does not look super high tech.
No.
It's like one green beam and one red beam.
Yeah.
It's good. I like to beam sometimes.
We're beaming right now.
Maybe that's why they don't use them, because they barely work at all and they look stupid wearing
I
them.
would use whatever.
Yeah.
If there was a chance, I'd probably.
Yeah. You're saying there's a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that guy goes and gets the scroll.
He's successful. I can't believe it.
Level 2, you've gotten the scroll and a mission. Corporate elite need you.
And one other person.
Yeah.
And one other person for no reason. But we need 2 of you to go deliver people to negotiate a treaty that these corporate people are now going to talk to like the government. And when they're like, whoa, but we need 2 people to go there because, negotiations. And that gets rough.
No.
And these guys are like, let's do it.
That's an orgy of negotiations.
So, can I ask a dumb question?
I'll allow it.
I bet
Thank you.
it'll be in
I'm
place.
like, I think everyone's like, in this movie, I don't know.
So,
What does that mean?
Was that offer for a treaty legitimate?
I kind of thought it was like so. I think
Like,
it
are
was.
you asking?
Okay, without
was it like
spoiler.
sent by the screeners?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was it a plant or were the NEBs like legitimate?
Okay,
Like, come on, let's talk about this.
I think there's 2 things. So I think, that's a super valid question.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. So the message is we need 2 people to like go as kind of some bodyguards to make sure these negotiations go well. You're just really guards, but these negotiations seem serious. But later in the film, it's noted, the people that sent that message are dead, and they've been actually dead for 2 years. So, and then we also learn later, because it's kind of a complex question Mike's asking, then we learn a lot of these people who are dead have actually been replaced with robots. So one of 2 things has happened. I guess this is how I'd answer Mike's question, which like I don't have a finite answer. Either it is a real treaty and that message is real, but it's dated and those people are long gone and they got it too late, which I think is unlikely. The other option is that it is robots setting this up to basically just kill humans.
I don't like that, because that sounds stupid. They sent this message to lure out 2 humans.
I mean, I don't think they needed to, based on what we see in the rest of this movie.
But no. So I would assume this would be one of many messages. That this message was sent out like to these guards. Like, hey, we need you to guard some people. We're doing these things. But then other messages were sent to like ambassadors and the corporate people. I think this was an attempt to round up these people and the robots are going to kill them. Like,
Sure.
Half the people have already been, what do they do? They assimilate you when you're a Borg in Star Trek. Like, that's what I think some people have already turned out to be. They've been body snatched.
Right, but they sent an actual human to deliver this message.
Maybe that guy was like maybe there's still humans working, but like the heads of those corporations are robots.
Well,
Okay.
I have a couple of questions about that too.
Well, side note, just because to answer Mike's question, it just seems everyone's a robot.
Well, and so like later on, you learn that at the center of this, or somewhere deep underground in this planet, there is a factory that is reliant. It doesn't need anybody else. They just flip the
Right.
switch, and it has the ability to like turn resources into robots and whatnot.
In
And
1995, the factory would be a dope rave club.
Yeah.
yes, obviously. But my question is like, so this is a mining planet, and so far, like all the stuff we see are just like broke down, like run down, non-operational like facilities. So did like the government or the NEB abandon all these people that are currently on this planet? Like they're just there. Like
Well, they nuked them.
Yeah. So we're 10 years into a war. I think the Screamers have only been on for 2 years. So they installed this factory thing that can make these robots like 2 years ago, and that's kind of when everyone who survived the nuclear holocaust are kind of dying. So they already have established the bunkers that the Alliance guys are in, and the bunkers that the NEB guys are in.
Yeah,
Okay.
and people of all importance, almost quote unquote, they have left. Like they're gone. So everyone
Right.
on this world is like doomed to hell.
Yeah. So to get back on track,
And we got to meet Joe.
which one's? Oh yeah,
Joe's the
RoboCop.
star of the movie.
Yeah, okay.
We haven't gotten to Joe yet.
Yeah, so they get the message to Peter Weller, Joe, who's flipping a coin and listening to classical music because he's a big fucking weirdo.
He is.
He really wasn't as the movie went on. Like they set him up as I don't know. It was a weird
Yeah,
setup.
yeah. You know, Mike, I totally agree that he like these opening scenes are like he's some weird like
Right, like he's fucking Captain Nemo
yeah,
in
he's,
there.
he's like a weird eclectic, and he's
Right.
like, I like beautiful things, and
I have a Roman coin.
I look at coins all day because you don't understand the history, you dummy. That's what he tells like some
Right.
guy who delivers a message.
But
Like,
then
oh,
I-
you're looking at coins. He's like, you're a dumb moron because I'm looking at coins.
Right.
And you don't know coin history, moron.
But in the next scene, he's just like a normal guy.
Yeah, I was like,
And none of this is referenced again.
yeah, and he like, and it looked like he was in a very like sterile room. Like he looked like very like OCD. I totally agree, Mike. These opening sequences like do not set up this character at all. He seems like a very strict, sterile person, but he's not. He later just seems like kind of an aware guy who's like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Get these kids in their small hands away from me.
Yeah, no one wants the small hands.
He looks and seems more annoyed than anything. I think that's part of the character. Just like,
I'd be annoyed
just,
too.
I hate
Yeah,
it.
that
I just want to
planet
get out of
sucks.
He
here.
just wants to smoke his weird cigarettes and
Yeah.
chill out,
He's
flip
like-
his coin.
It's like, do you know I was RoboCop?
No one told
They
him.
don't know. They didn't tell him.
Yeah, they didn't know.
So he reads the message. He's like, huh, okay. And then do they get a video call or where does the hologram come in?
It's like transmitted from someplace.
But was it queued up with the message they got, or did the phone ring?
Well, that's what I'm a little
Yeah.
confused about that also. But because it cuts in and out, and then RoboCop fixes it by just beating the remote a couple
Right, like
times.
the woman wasn't doing it right,
Yeah.
so he had to, yeah.
I have no idea what that was about.
Yeah, it wasn't clear to me like if they got that call just out of the blue at the same time, or if like the tube message was like, we want a treaty for more details.
Like it's fucking Princess Leia and R2-D2.
yeah, like,
I have notes that I could read to you, but honestly, for the next 5 minutes, like I was watching in like a full observant blackout. Like it's just like 5 minutes of weirdness, like weird people doing weird stuff.
Like you were just looking through the TV.
Like I was just writing notes that were like, this happens. Like he's sitting down, like he's talking to this guy Chuck, and then he's talking to Joe's like talking about his wife, and he's like, like she's gone, but I think about her, but I don't, and blah blah blah. Like it's like really fake dialogue. I just kind of like zoned out. Like I was like, oh my god, like who wrote this? And I'm not even saying that for the whole movie. I'm just really mean for these moments. I was like, what?
Yeah, this opening scene was full of that. where
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm zoning out a bit.
Yeah, this is like early AI wrote a script. Like two people on space have dialogue like, how is wife? She is gone. Ha ha ha. Some joke on wife's expense. Good friend. Male humor. Ha ha ha. Cigarette. There is radiation. Smoke red cigarette. And I'm like, I wrote those things. I was like, what's happening? You got
just
to light a red
exploded.
cigarette when there's too much radiation. Then people break in.
well, there's a plane crash.
Yeah.
The ship crashes.
Well, I mean, more yeah, a ship breaks in.
yeah.
Ahoy.
But yeah, so they do get that hologram message from like the Earth Commander or whatever.
Mike, what would be the equivalent of your favorite band, The Police, and Message in a Bottle? If it was in space, what would it be?
Communicate in a tube.
Space message in a space bottle.
Yes. There's something in a tube.
And then that favorite like drum click that you love so much, Mike.
Yeah.
Mike loves The Police. You should talk to him
Big
about
police fan.
Oh boy.
They're sending out an SOS.
Yeah.
They won't shut up about it.
Lighting a red cigarette.
So yeah, they're just hanging out in the mess hall or whatever, having their gin and tonic.
I wrote that too. Like
Gin and
gin and tonic.
Yeah, they have like the Star Trek like synthesizer
Yeah.
shit. They just order something up and it appears.
Yeah. So
Wait, have you guys seen that like those booze machines that they have? It's like a Keurig but for cocktails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seen those.
I have seen those.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, okay, so that sounds terrible.
Yeah,
and
probably.
That sounds problematic probably for a lot of people. Like I just have weird boozy times all the time.
What's wrong with weird booze?
four in the morning. Like
Hey.
I should get some water, but I'm drinking some G&Ts
Look, me and
on the toilet.
me and Rancho Gloria over here disagree.
Yeah, so Peter Weller, Joe, him and Chuck, there's like getting drinks from like, yeah, basically like the Star Trek like food machines. You just program in what you want and you're like gin and tonic and it gives it to you. I'm never leaving that in this world, in this future that we're looking at. Like, hey, do you want to go to some shit Fallout planet and do some shit things out outside of this facility? The answer is no. Like, I would have never left this. Like, that's, you got to face facts. You're not going outside anymore, but you got like an endless booze and food machine, and you could like do whatever you want.
But
like
the treaty, they want a treaty, man.
And you'd be missing out on all like the fucking rave death lasers.
I would have sent someone else probably.
I mean, I assume
You delegate.
Yeah,
you're in like a world of like 1,000 people. Like this is just your life now,
Right.
Like, and if you have this sweet setup, like ride that to hell.
well, yeah, I guess.
I mean, I think the idea is like if he takes a 4-hour walk, which I think is how long it takes to go from one.
Well, there is a
bunker to the next.
montage when you just walk 20 feet. So.
And then you could have the peace of mind of not getting shot at in the future, which is not bad. I don't think. I think it's probably worth a day's journey.
I guess. I mean, it seems like the bigger threat is the screamers and not the other scared people.
So that's what I'm saying.
But
Like
the screamers aren't a threat to them because they are supposed to be on their side.
you are living in a sweet facility that, from what I see right now, is super guarded.
as a bar.
Yeah, is like well stocked with provisions. I'm done. Like in this world, I'm not saying like I'd be done today. I'm just like in this awful world that we're looking at, I would not leave.
I would have.
Well, for what? Like,
What my reason for leaving is a spoiler,
okay.
so I feel like I shouldn't say.
Save why you would leave.
Okay.
But like, I'm just saying for now, like
Yeah.
I do know too much about this.
Right.
But like in this perspective, it'd be like, go leave this sweet setup and like maybe die by screamers. Maybe you're totally going to die by screamers. They're literally 20 feet outside your house.
Right.
And
I
you're
can
like,
see them right now.
right. And then you're like,
Well, maybe he's leaving there. So I think that he thinks that there's going to be like this peace treaty that they might be able to negotiate, and if it goes through, like everybody might be able to get off this. Shit.
well, I think it's his job. Like,
Yeah,
I think
well,
that's
yeah.
like honestly, he's like,
Yeah, he
honor
is
bound by
like
job.
the officer or whatever.
Right. But beyond that, I'd be like, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
He's also kind of established as like some ultra engineer that can just magically fix anything.
Yeah, he's
so,
pretty
with
smart.
just-
So he doesn't have the same wrist safety issues that everyone else on the planet seems to have.
He's a real fix-it Felix.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Well, as alluded to a moment ago, there's a plane crash.
Boom!
Boom. They're like
Jiggy, no.
earlier. They're like, oh, there's
Stop that
a plane that's like sending a distress signal. It's a civilian plane, and he's like, well, sucks to be them. We're not helping. And then it just fucking crashes, and it's full of Alliance soldiers.
The
Yes.
government soldiers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're all dead except for one.
Yeah.
Ace.
Yeah.
His name is.
That was talked about like,
Yes.
like, you know, I was a team of 38. You're a team of 37. Really, just you. You're one. You're the one that made it out alive. They call me Ace. And
His
he's
name's
credited
Jackson, though, isn't it?
Jefferson.
Jefferson.
Yeah, he's credited as Ace on IMDb. He says his name is Ace is here, and then everyone calls him Jefferson
Because
for the rest
Ace
of the
is a
movie.
lame nickname.
But
though.
I refer
Yeah,
to
whatever.
him as
Ace.
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 Ace is like a nickname that you tell people that other people used to call you that at boot camp when no one ever
Yeah,
called
no,
you.
yeah. That's
Or
perfect.
or it's like your grandpaps called you that when you were like 3. Like, look at Ace go.
Hey, come go get him, Ace.
Yeah, and you're like, ah, that's nice.
Yeah, look
and
at
then,
Ace.
right, but then you become like, I don't know, 13 and above, and the higher the age, the worse it is if they call you. Imagine you're like 60 and someone's like, "What's up, Ace?"
You're like, nothing sport.
Yeah. Ace is a young man's nickname.
What's up, Ace? I'm gonna die.
Well, Joe is like, hey, Ace, we got to go do this treaty shit.
There's some nibs.
Like General so-and-so told us to. And Ace is like, General so-and-so, he's dead.
I don't mean to wind your crank, master.
But also, like, okay, so another thing I wanted to bring up,
Hot dog and a
aside
red.
from the crank winding, the cargo ship or whatever was like from Terrace 4B or some other planet that's not theirs. They're like, that's not a planet that has a spaceship. There were like the spaceship was a mystery.
It was a. They thought that it was a commercial liner because they had a distress signal from a commercial ship.
Right. Well, and all the markings were commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think it was just the distress. It's like when it crashed, it was pretty obvious that it was like military or
Right,
whatever.
right, okay.
But it was supposed. They like why it was there because it was so far out of everything that
Right.
they were supposed to be doing.
And
It
they're
didn't
on
make
planet
sense.
6A, and this one was going to 4A for another battle of some kind.
A
4A, yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Meta.
Right?
Very
but,
meta.
But like, so Ace didn't have any idea what was going on this planet, and Joe didn't seem to have any idea what was going on in the rest of the world.
I don't mean to be cutting you to scraps, but that guy's dead. Real dead, mister. 2 years dead.
Yeah. Yeah. No one knows what the fuck they're supposed to be doing.
Someone take that thing away.
Those,
This
those
movie
are
was
the
set in
screamers.
1920.
Finally got to the screamers.
So there's some confusion. But ultimately, Joe's like, you know what?
Well, Chuck
You're coming with me.
Chuck is like enraged by this. Like although I'm like, hey, like Mister, this, like he is like, Ace is pretty young, and he's like saying this, but he is like saying it kind of like, I don't know, like in a believable sense, because he's like, I don't mean to like wind you up. I'm not trying to like get you riled up. I don't know what you guys know, but like, guys, you might be some backwards bumpkins. Like, I just came from like a space city. Like, the dude you're talking about is totally dead. Like, he's been dead for 2 years. Like, not just for a little bit. And Chuck's like, we got a message the other day. He's like, okay, like, I don't know what that message is.
yeah.
But like, I'm from New York and you live in like a hole. So, cool. I got a go skis.
Well, then Peter Weller, like, he's constantly like, what the hell's going on, Chuck? I don't understand.
That's
anything.
constantly Peter
Jesus
Weller's look.
Christ.
Yeah.
If Peter Weller's not smoking, that is his look.
He just doesn't know.
Says goddamn a lot too. Mm-hmm. Want to note that.
Is that a drinking game? Is that a
It
jam?
might be. I didn't.
Retroactive?
Yeah.
Mike's got a bottle of Gloria.
I do.
Oof.
Yeah, we all do.
But they're going to go to Central Command.
Yeah, they're on
That's
the way.
the next plan.
Joe and Ace.
Joe and Ace.
Yeah, Chuck's like, well, this is stupid. And Peter Weller, i.e. Joe, is like, well, we've got to
No
go.
one cares what you think.
At first, I thought all three of them were going. Like, it
Yeah, so
kind
did
of
I.
seemed, and they were like, we're getting ready. Like, they were all going. And then Chuck's like, bye. And I was like, oh, he's not going.
Yeah, he had to stay behind to watch the facility.
I didn't even know that. I thought we were getting to the long montage scene where they're
He's like,
walking.
we
I thought Chuck was
Leave
there.
these fucking humans here by themselves.
Yeah, so as Lamar's noting, then starts a montage. Like, they've been wandering. They're walking away from...
They're putting on the Walkman.
Yeah, there's like a Walkman, there's music.
Yeah, they're like their homeland, their like secure bases away. Yeah, as Jeremy notes, there's a Discman that they're putting on. There's headphones. There's music, and then he turns around, and I swear to God, he's like 300 feet away. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah, they did a montage to go like 300 feet.
Yeah, they were like, sincerely, I would say 3 to 4 blocks maximum from where they just walked, and they're just kind of like on an up climb.
Yeah, then the montage stops. Like, Peter Weller, he does something. I can't remember what the hell it is, but he's like calling somebody or checking something, and then, then they continue on their way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I start noting, and throughout the movie, like this movie is like an hour and 45 minutes. Was that about right?
Yeah. Yes,
This movie should have been cut down at least 15 minutes for walking scenes.
Yeah.
And this becomes, and I just wrote lots of walking, and they try to get some like backstory, and they try to get a little like character development, and it's really just Joe lecturing Ace, just like talking now. He's like, listen, young scraps, let me tell you how it is. Like, and they're all like these weird trick questions, like, why did you join? Well, I wanted to join, to like prove myself. You wanted to prove yourself? I joined because I was scared, and I wanted to start a new world. Like, you joined for the wrong reasons. And like, it's all like lectures like that. I'm like, God, shut up.
Like, do you breathe through your mouth? Yeah. No, you breathe through your ass, son.
Right?
It's a lot of telling me to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh my God, like this is going on forever. Like, there's no right answers with this guy. like come on. But boom, now we got some screamers.
That whole scene was just a backstory dumping ground. There's Joe's telling stories, and I was kind of fading out in between, but they're just back and forth, blah, blah, blah. That's all that scene was for.
Were you like, where did you come from? Where did you go?
No one knows, Cotton Eye Joe.
You knew it was going to happen.
I did.
It was bound to.
It was the Peter Weller way.
But those pesky screamers are back.
Eventually, they're walking through some ruins, and they find a small a boy.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think, that's about it.
Yeah. The kid wants to go, and he's like, "Take me with you."
He's like, take me with me. I'm Michael Chiklis.
He did refer to himself as Michael Chiklis.
Call me Chiklis.
The commish.
Yeah.
I'm the commish, baby.
Get me out of here. I could be your commish.
Okay.
You know, the commish on a Kanish is the bakery I want to start and simultaneously the show I'm writing.
There you go.
They go hand in hand.
Yeah. That's going to be the tagline.
Yeah, so Peter Weller, he just wants to leave this kid. He's like, we'll come back for you later. We got to go to do some shit. We'll come back for you.
I noted there was a little discrepancy. It's like, we'll be back. Like,
We'll be back in 2 to 3 days.
yeah, it was like
2 days.
Yeah, it was like
5 days.
It was like Ace, give him a micro ration. Like, we've got to go, and this might be able to help. And the kid's like, but I want to go with you. And he's like, and so Joe's like trying to be somewhat, I guess, compassionate. And he's like, we'll be back in 3 days. Like, just hang tight. We'll be back in 3 days. Or I think it's at 2 at first. We'll be back in 2 days. And then Ace is like, I'm really afraid of this kid. Like, you can't leave him there. And he's like, we'll be back at least in 3 days. Like,
No more than
Here,
7.
we're going to leave him with a
8
gun
days,
with
tops.
1 bullet. We'll be back in a few days. Wink, wink.
I gave him a cookie. And then Ace goes on quite the rat cooking story after they take on the kid. The kid's like, well, I want to be there. They're like, well, kid, why not? So they walk a little bit, and Ace just goes on and on about how to cook rats on a stainless steel pan.
You got to preheat the pan first, then heat up the oil.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the rat will stick.
He's really enthusiastic.
He's right there.
really
Yeah,
passionate
that's dead
about
on
it.
accurate.
You got to do that. Yeah.
He's really passionate about cooking rats.
Well, everyone has hobbies.
You are the pan.
It's like,
God damn it.
Shit.
something rat burgers. Yeah.
Yeah, where's Dennis Leary in all this?
Yeah.
So
He's the screamer.
now we're kind of camping in for the night, and this is the crew we got. We got some ragamuffin boy who literally looks like it was Paddington Bear in boy form and more ragged. We've got Ace watching virtual porn.
Yeah, he's got his
just
Oculus
laying
on.
Yeah, like listening to metal and watching VR porn.
Why did he take his bracelet off that protects him from...
Because he's a moron.
Like, did he have to take it off in order to facilitate this VR porn?
It was
episode?
throwing off his cranking.
Yeah, he didn't want
guys-
to get
Like,
it
was
on the
chafing.
bracelet.
Yeah,
You
it's
guys need to
chafing my
understand.
left thigh.
In this future, I would have a bracelet on each appendage.
I would have fucked that bracelet.
I mean,
That's why he took it off.
like, well, you have it on one arm. I'm having it on my ankles. I'm getting one around like my neck. There's gonna be a hat version.
Oh, you're going full carotene.
Yeah.
So
A
they
cod piece.
Yeah, but all that stuff interferes with your rocking out and your
Does
VR
it?
porn.
Seems
Well,
like
apparently
okay.
it did for Jefferson. He
Yeah.
couldn't do both at the same time. So he had to
like-
take the bracelet off.
he's also only been on the planet for like 8 hours.
Right.
And even though this thing is supposed to save his life, no one briefed him on any of it. So I doubt he even really knew. Like, he's like, I thought it would be good if it was just near me. It's like, well, you're
I'm going to tell you right now, if someone's like, here's a bracelet that you wear and it'll save you from being killed by robots.
I don't think anyone,
I'm never taking this bracelet off.
I don't think anyone told him that.
Yeah. Also, like through the walk and through some of these lectures, it is noted like, all these places are full of radiation. But when it gets too heavy, like this bracelet also kind of tells you like, hey, there's too much radiation. So you need to smoke this red cigarette. And so here's the crazy thing. And Ace is like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, and we're in an area. So here's one of these red cigarettes. He's like, it's crazy you got to smoke this, which is bad for you, but it's better than the bad around me. He's like, ah, ha, ha. One, you're a soldier, dude. They didn't tell you that. Also, they didn't give you these cigarettes. and Joe has to give them to you. I know they're not like they weren't on the right planet, but like you're
there
just
you go, Paul. That explains it all.
but you're just like unaware of all of this. You're just like unaware of all of these things.
So like I totally thought that this was going to be like a weird time dilation issue. And like that was the reason the the message from the general on Earth was like delayed and they didn't know he was dead.
They were
and,
really
like,
playing it off that way.
Yeah. And then no one ever mentioned anything like that. Everything was totally coincidental.
What would you have done if like dinosaurs came out of the trees?
I would have thought this would have been a way better movie.
What trees? Yeah.
Tree. They came out of a tree. The one in the museum that they made that was then nuked.
Yeah.
Came out of the rave lights.
An inexplicable dinosaur would have made this movie awesome.
This is all proving why would you have left the facility with the endless booze and food and electricity and various other things.
Because you need adventure in your life.
Yeah. He was bored.
I mean, I understand that. That's why I'm like, yes, but like this future just sucks. Like, I mean, it just seems like you would just walk out of your house and die.
Yeah, but I mean, it only sucks for like 400 people.
Yeah, just this mining colony.
Yeah. It's fine for everyone
everyone
else.
else is probably fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I was one of the 400, I would not have left that sweet
fine.
facility. That's what I'm really saying. Like,
Yeah.
if you're doomed to this hell and you found that, then I think you should stay there forever.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or at least like for enough years that you're like, I think the Screamers have left.
Where are they going?
I mean, far enough away from they didn't just kill a dude in your front yard like a day ago.
Yeah.
Like I would wait that one out.
Yeah.
You wait and then you go outside and they kill you because they didn't leave.
No, they didn't.
I mean, they maybe like followed that guy who ran over there for like miles and miles. They could have left.
Yeah.
I just again wouldn't have gone out there like 5 minutes
But
later.
he's got the bracelet.
Yeah.
Well, so Ace isn't wearing his bracelet, and a Screamer may or may not have noticed this.
It did.
It did. Well, there's something happens later that makes you think that maybe that wasn't the issue.
Yeah. Well, the kid doesn't have a bracelet, and for sure they'd be coming.
And
after
he's
him.
been living out there for 4 years.
Yeah.
I would have shot that kid immediately
Oh,
after
right.
he said that. Like, yeah, okay, buddy.
Well, they shoot the Screamer that's trying to kill him in the sleep, and it's an upgraded one because Joe knows exactly where to find the microchip in every robot.
time.
Yeah, Collin picked that out real
Immediately.
quick. Like that, yeah. Joe's like the chip whisperer. So you'll find out that the Screamers take all sorts of forms. At first, they're like razorblade Roombas, but then we're gonna start finding out they sometimes are like animals right now. And this one is a little more animal-esque. And immediately Joe's like, I've never seen this. I'm just gonna take this chip from a foot, a neck, a spine, like. It's
He
like
knows where they
yeah,
are.
like every time he picks up like a new creature, just like imagine you have one guess. Where do you think that chip is? Is like the spine, the neck, the toe, the eyeball. Like, and he's right every
Yeah,
time.
every
Like,
time.
Yeah, his like first attempt is always like the chip is here. Yeah, it's super bizarre.
You know what? He's been the robot the whole fucking time.
Probably.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Honestly, Colin, if that's what it turned out to be, I wouldn't have doubted it. So they go walking around. Now it's the three of them. It's Ace, this boy, and Joe. And all of a sudden they see we see from our view like some other people walking around, and there's a sniper. And he seems pretty far away, and he just blasts the hell out of that kid like immediately. It's kind of jarring. Like, this movie, I feel, takes like a 30-second mental turn for me, where I'm like, oh my god, this kid is blasted like far back. Like, this kid is dead.
That was a jarring scene. It really. Well said. The movie's picking up a bit.
If this was like a really good, well-written movie, this scene would have been less jarring because it would have been more obvious what was going on. But because it was so badly written, like you kind of just
That's true.
go
It came
with
out-
everything as it goes.
yeah.
It was like really surprising.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You're like, oh my god, like things got real in this weird film. Like, and then some bros come over. I have Darsh and glasses, and they're like, hey, you go check this out. And they're checking out the kid, and the kid is a robot. And they're like, oh my god, the Screamers have evolved.
Why did they shoot the kid?
They knew
They
from
knew.
a distance.
Yeah,
somehow.
they knew that there were these kids robots out there.
No, okay, I know. Can I do a spoiler?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so these guys are also robots.
No.
No.
Yes.
One.
Okay, one of them is. Like, if you're a robot and you're... I don't know. It seems like having an extra robot would have been helpful for them.
Well, I'm taking it like this. They blast the kid like as a show of faith, and now they're like that robot was our pawn. Now,
Yeah.
who are you guys? Because you could lead us to a bigger group of people.
Right.
Because we're gonna kill all of you.
I can buy that.
Yeah.
It's a
I mean
crafty robots.
that's just kind of my guess.
Sure, it just seems like the scenic route to getting there.
I do feel this robot that you're noting of the two guys. Like we don't know that either of these guys are robots yet, but one is going to turn out to be a robot. That I do feel this guy's playing a long con to get more and more information.
Well, I guess specifically, we don't know that the other one isn't a robot.
You are correct. No. Glasses is not a robot.
How do you know?
At this point, we don't know, but we also don't know that they are robots.
No, but I mean, even at the time of this guy's death, you don't. It's never...
Three different people check him out, but
No
those
one-
people are all robots. So.
Right. Like, my point is, like, he could be a robot.
Well, I mean,
When he was killed, I saw blood
Colin,
when he was killed.
yeah, but the other ones bleed, too.
some.
Yeah, I
But-
did demand that they go
God
check
damn.
him out some more, and no one ever did.
Right, and it does turn out that like everyone is basically a robot. So like, do multiple people check the death of this other guy out that Mike is talking about? But all of those people turn out to be robots.
Right. I guess my point being, at the end of what we know at the end of the movie, all of that data collected, there is nothing that happens to this dude that proves he's not a robot.
But jokingly, Colin's like, Joe's the robot, and I actually agree. I was like, there's no proof that he's not. Like literally everyone's a robot in this movie except for Joe and Ace.
Ace is the place.
Yeah.
And the people at the beginning.
He got aced in the face.
Yeah, we don't know that either.
We're pretty confident though.
Yeah.
That which one?
All of the people in the first complex are not at that time robots.
Oh yeah, I mean, so we assume. But
No.
then they like open
Robots
the door
don't
and
drink gin and tonics.
No.
gin
Yeah,
and tonic.
They haven't AI'd good times yet.
I cannot drink this. Please drink it. Gin and tonic. This is my robot pee. This guy's drinking my pee. Ha ha ha.
But robots can drink scotch.
Yeah. Love scotch.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, I never even thought about that.
Yeah, so these two, Darsh and Glasses.
Have you ever drank a hopscotch?
Yeah. Duh. They take Joe and Ace down into the bunker to meet Jessica, who runs like a small black market commissary or something. Who has no customers because there's no one else here.
It's a bed and breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jessica's like, hey, I've seen soldiers die, and I've seen a lot of things, but I'm going to tell you this while I take off my top
Right.
and bathe myself.
Like, yeah.
And-
I have a loofah. Look at my tits. Drink this scotch and shut up.
Yeah,
just
and
like
I
that.
have real scotch. It's not that synthetic shit. So I have real scotch. I'm a bootlegger. Oh, I see you're a corporate soldier. So you can arrest me? Oh, you're not? Cool. My top's off.
Here is my boobies.
So here's the thing. I don't trust the people I'm working with. So I'm going to go with you and we're going to get the hell out of here. And he's like, all right.
Cool.
That's the deal.
Just like that.
And then Darsh comes in. He's like, what's going on here? She's like, we're all going to go. But she's kind of like wink, wink to Joe. She's like, especially you're going to get me out of here. Because she keeps saying, like, I don't trust these guys.
Well, I don't
Yeah,
either.
no shit. One
Yeah.
has a tear
Yeah.
fucking drops tattooed on his face.
Yeah, and Glasses is fucking tweaking the whole time.
Yeah,
he's on a meth bender.
Yeah, Glasses is, again, so we got, I don't even know these guys' names. Darsh and Glasses. I'm
There you
usually
go.
pretty good with the
You
names.
can go with
but-
that. Or we can-
Becker is the guy with the tattoo,
Yeah.
and Ross is the glasses.
Is it Ross?
Yeah.
Okay.
He would be a Ross.
Ross with
nerd.
glasses is like, yeah, he's Tweak from South Park. Like, this dude is freaking. But, like, why? Like,
Because
wh-
Becker
I don't
is
know.
on his back the entire time.
But, like,
he has
the-
one line.
But, like, the thing is, like, this guy's lived there. It's not like he just got there.
No, he did. There was a line a little bit later where she's like, "Dude, why would I trust you? I've only known you for like 2 days."
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't know each other.
Then why did she even let this guy in?
Who the
Who
fuck
knows?
knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
D.
Yeah, well, they're all going underground, and by underground, it's like really going through like the subfloor of a mall.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
so the two Darsh and Glasses were explaining, that the little kid robots swarmed their unit and killed everybody. That's how they knew what the kid robot looked like. And
It's never good when little kids swarm your unit.
Oh my god, no! That's the worst.
Oh god.
Okay,
Let's reflect on that for longer.
this podcast is being taken off. So that, I mean, presumably, I guess if we're trying to make up some kind of backstory, when their unit got swarmed, they showed up here because this chick had titties and scotch.
And just
Yeah.
hold up
I showed up there too.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And they were able to get in because they have a knife and they could
turn
stop
the fan off with the knife.
Yeah.
Like, we've got this mechanism for stopping the fan. We can safely enter and exit now.
Yeah, but yeah, they go into the future mall in search of whoever, and there's no one there or something.
Yeah, it's the command center.
Yeah, and they get to this like term. I think this is happening.
Yes.
They get to this terminal, and Joe has the microchips, and he's like scanning them in. Right, this is the time we see like boy model, and he's like, oh crap, like they're like they're beyond Roombas,
That's
like
the Type 3.
yeah, and he's like just scanning them into like this weird like credit card reader, and they're like, boop. It's like boy model 3, and then as Lamar and I noted, like the one like beast that attacked him earlier looks like Ravage from Transformers.
They're cute little things.
Yeah, that was adorable. It's like an adorable death.
Yeah, and he's trying to search for like what is the Model 2, but then the thing shows up and fucks him
You
up.
really hated this command center, Paul. You did not like the lighting.
Yeah, this command center was done on a budget of -$5.
The command center owes me.
It was no joke. It was one step away from like the same equipment and community when you get into the space shuttle built by KFC.
The KFC.
Yeah, like it was like plastic, like clearly like housing, like cheap electronics. There's these lights going up and down. I said at Dave and Buster's, this is the game you play where you like press a light, and if you stop it at the right like rung of lights, you get certain amounts of tickets. I was like, what the hell is going on? They go to a terminal. Oh my god, the terminal had like 5 options.
Oh, yes.
I love everything in this movie too. Like when they bring up like the pictures of Ravage or Boy 2 where they're looking at the robots. It's insane. All I thought was Corel paint. I'm like, oh my god, like what is going on here?
That's accurate.
I believe one of the comments he made was it looked like they were entering their names in a bowling alley.
Yeah, it was like the bowling
It
terminal.
looked like that terminal at the bowling
cool.
alley.
Ace is up next, and then you see like 3 pins dancing across the lanes, like banana split. Can Ace do it?
It really looked like that.
There's an SNL skit that is newer. My wife and I love this, and it's like they're at the bowling lanes.
I've seen this. Yeah.
And so like they're bowling, and like you've seen like you get a strike or you get split, and they have the little animatronics, but all the animatronics are like now taunting. They're like, "You effing suck!" like oh my god, what did that just thing say to me? It's like I'm talking to you, jackass, and like they're not friendly anymore. Yeah, that was good.
Good stuff.
Yeah, we get more. We get more young kids swarming their current unit now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the kids show up in force.
Children of the Corn.
It did look like that.
Children of the Mango.
Yeah, so they're on the run, back through the bowels that they have just previously come through.
Quick, back through them. Glasses is
Fucking bodies. The girl.
so they're running down this narrow hallway, and Glasses, Ross, who's been tweaking out this whole time, he basically just overtakes everyone. Yeah, and he just like kind of like gets in front of Jessica, like he insists upon himself, while basically pulling her backwards and simultaneously into a wall. He goes around her. I was like, oh. Like,
Excuse me.
yeah.
Remind me of the scene where George Costanza is escaping the fire and he's pushing kids out of the way.
And then Eric the Clown put out the fire with his big shoe.
Big shoe.
Yeah. Well, they decide to go back to where they came from.
Yeah, the bed and breakfast.
Yeah, the bed.
That sounds messed up. Go back to where you came
right
from.
back where you came from. Yeah, Alliance HQ or whatever, wherever the movie started.
G&Ts. They've
Because
been
they went to
waiting.
G&T. Yeah.
My only job was to give you G&T.
Well, before they get back to where the G&Ts are, though, what's his name? Glasses gets stabbed by what's his name?
Becker. The
Becker.
tattoo
Darsh,
guy.
yeah.
Darsh.
Yeah, so a knife flies across the room, and because they're sharing this drink at one point, and Ross has been freaking out this whole time, and then a knife just flies across this room. Like, this is a pretty good scene. This is super alarming because it goes right into his chest, and he is super dead. And we were kind of joking throughout the movie, like, this guy sucks. Like, he's gonna give it away your position. He's freaking out. He's a loose cannon. He's gonna shoot you accidentally. And he's just been, terrible, but now he's dead, but we didn't think he was going to go out this way. And it was like, he's a robot. That's what they're saying.
That's what Darsh was saying.
Yeah, Darsh was
But they all check
right.
him out, and he's bleeding. They're like, whoops. And they're like, yeah, so he's bleeding. This guy is not a robot.
They don't really check him out. He just pulls the knife out of him.
There's
And
blood
on
blood.
it, yeah.
he's
Yeah.
like,
Fucked up.
For what they know at this point, that's a pretty good
No,
metric.
I mean,
Yeah.
based on their knowledge at this point, yes, for sure. They made the right decision.
G&T.
And the logic was there too, where he's like, oh, he's been repeating himself so
And
much.
he didn't drink the scotch.
Yeah.
And who wouldn't want that?
Wouldn't it be
Exactly.
crazy if the antagonist of this movie was the G&T robot that would just wanted to evolve, and at the end of the movie became like a sentient being that was like, I have finally made you the perfect G&T. And that was all he wanted to do.
Okay,
No
yes.
replicator just wants to be the best form of itself.
Yes. That's the movie.
We've created a sentient robot factory that's sole purpose is design the perfect G&T.
Joe, I fell in love with you on day one. The way I squoze the line into your G&T. I squoze like no other. G&T.
Oh, Jesus.
That's right.
NT.
Jesus and T.
Well, yeah. So they're going back to the head.
Yeah, this is when the swarm of children come out. Flamethrower comes out to play. Is that Ace? Someone pulls
So
out.
yeah, someone's got a flamethrower.
Yeah, so lots of things are burning.
Lots of melting children.
Yeah.
Shooting, burning, and children melting.
Yeah, if your thing is killing kids, then this is your movie.
And then Joe goes to Ace. He's like, give me that rocket that you have. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I know you took a rocket and I need it.
Yeah,
I don't know why that would really be a secret, but he gives it to him and he shoots it right into like a gas tanker that explodes the whole complex.
It kind of along the story of the history was that it was a nuclear weapon, and he's like, dude, nuclear war destroyed this planet. I'm not gonna keep it going when we're in the middle of peace talks.
Yeah. But now he's like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Give me them shits.
Yeah.
G&T.
He makes himself some nice little explosions.
It's like, if I can't have G&Ts, nobody can.
He creates a nuclear explosion 200 feet.
Yeah.
But they got the red cigarettes, so they're probably fine.
Yeah.
It was a cool explosion.
Well,
You just have,
Blows them
you just
off.
have an extra that day, Colin.
It fucks them up a little bit.
Yeah, they're all on fire and they jump
Yeah.
off the cliff. The explosion was pretty nice.
Yeah. It was good.
It was great at killing kids.
Yeah. Killed them kids good.
Oh, my Lord.
But they all came out relatively okay.
Yeah,
Did they?
enough
They
of
were
them did.
nuked.
The important ones did.
Well, not the kids, but
Oh,
like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. No, the kids are dead.
But Darsh, Joe, and what's her name?
Yeah, they're okay. Yeah, Jessica, Jessica. Wait, what's Darsh's name? Becker.
Yes.
Yeah, Becker, Jessica, and Joe and Ace. Everything's going okay.
And so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
it's going
yeah.
well until.
Till-
Is this
yeah.
where the next robot is revealed?
Yes.
Type 2.
Yeah.
Diabetes.
Type 2. Yeah. Becker is now a robot. Or, I mean, he always was. But
Crikey, mate! I'm an evil robot.
crikey, indeed.
You will finally see Ultimate Dingo.
That's the payoff line.
Dingo Smash.
Yeah. Can we isolate that one and put it in the drum?
Dingo Smash.
No, Ultimate Dingo.
that's
Ultimate
the
Dingo.
shirt.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good shirt.
Rabbit Troop sucks. Ultimate Dingo.
Yeah. I like that our shirt designs have become Not even actual references to movies, just things that we've made up.
Random things.
Praise
we've
the
made up.
maze.
Yeah. I was trying to explain this to my girlfriend who makes our t-shirts. She's like, what the fuck is Praise the Maze? Like, it's from this movie. She's like, when did they say that in this movie? It's like, they never said that in this movie. We said that about this movie
Why
for
does it-
reasons that I
There are
don't
quotes
know.
inspired by movies.
Yeah,
and
Mike,
that's good.
I don't understand. Why doesn't she understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our offhanded comments about movies that only we have heard. Why doesn't she not understand that?
Why aren't these shirts falling off the shelves?
No, it's amazing. No one's buying them.
Cool. We're gonna make the Praise the Maze T-shirt. We're gonna like accidentally form a cult.
Probably.
I can see that happening.
Yeah.
Great. I'm gonna love when like the authorities break into here. Like, what's going on? Like, Praise the Maze. Do you want a free T-shirt?
We got stickers downstairs.
G&T.
Tell us your favorite movie. We'll give you a shot glass.
Yeah.
Nice.
Do you guys want to record an app?
Yes, they do.
And the cycle continues.
Yeah. So Darsh is a robot.
Yeah, he crushes.
Crushes
What's
Ace.
his name? Ace.
Oh yeah, he crushes the fuck out of him and throws.
Why did he just turned around and he was just crushing him? Did he piss him off?
Well, I think he thought like the children swarm was gonna get the upper hand, and when that does not happen, he's like, "Hey, I'm a robot too, and I'm gonna kill you."
Ah, okay.
Guess I had to kill
Fair
someone.
enough.
Yeah, and I liked Ace. Ace is just tossed, and he's dead.
Yeah.
Ace is a weird character because I like a lot of Ace's dialogue. Ace is supposed to be like a crack shot, and sometimes this is shown, but not really.
I don't think did he ever shoot anyone except for the nuclear missile?
He shot a couple screamers early on.
Okay.
And he's like, I'm a good shot. And they're like, that's great. And then like started watching porn and not like shooting anything. so then he just wasn't.
Let's see
So
what porn does to
cool.
you.
Yeah.
No.
He wasn't good enough. He lacked the experience. He was still fresh off the boat kind of
He's
guy.
hot dogging around.
Yeah, too much hot dogging.
Jeremy, when's the last time you were hot dogging around? You're hot
Yesterday.
dogging, hot dogging around in Denver.
Yeah.
Going to Hop Daddy.
Have a couple more margaritas. We can all hot dog.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Some Ranchero
Yeah.
Gloria.
Tonight's margarita is brought to you by Rancho Gloria.
Oh
Paul's favorite new drink.
Yeah, I tried a little bit of it, and it cleared my sinuses out, like Drano.
That's what you want.
That's the Gloria.
Gotta quit hot dogging around and get back to this movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Wrap
Well,
this
we're
up.
almost
Well,
at the finish line.
Ace is dead,
Yeah,
Yeah.
super dead.
but yeah, Joe's kind of like walking around. Yeah, this is also a moment where I'm like, I forgot Jessica was even around.
Oh, yeah.
She had like no dialogue in the last like 8 minutes. There's been explosions, things are happening. I have no idea where she is. And at this point in time, Joe is trying to help Ace. Ace is dead, and then he is able to kill Becker. And then Jessica's like, hey.
Let's make out.
Well, yeah, she like kind
let's
of
bang.
Well, she like walks around the corner. And he's like, "Oh, hey." She's like, "Hey." And then they do make out. He's like, "I can't, but I can." But Becker's dead. And then they make out next to a robot body
Right.
who's cut in half.
Yeah, that robot body was killed in a fantastic fashion.
Yeah,
Joe shot him with another warhead, and it just split him in half at the waist.
Yeah, that was
the greatest
Yeah, the best
CGI you'll ever see.
special effects you'll ever see.
Yeah, that's when you got a case of the splitsies.
Yeah,
yeah.
he's making out with Jessica next to. They had the body like moving
just like
around
there,
him.
yeah.
It would have been better if, like, as they were like making out, it's like the body's still twitching.
around, yeah.
They could have like had a kind of a threesome thing going on,
Right.
like a severed arm.
Oh no, there's radiation. Better suck on this red cigarette.
Let's bring in the bottom half.
There's a
It's
radiant.
down here in my pocket.
There's a radiant lube that the soldiers are getting.
Oh, yeah, and Joe also cuts Jessica's hand just to see if she's a robot.
Well,
pretty upset about
that's how this starts. He takes his knife out and cuts her hand. She's like, ah, and he's like, I had to see, I had to make sure. He's like, you could cut my hand. She's like, I don't need to. And then they make out.
It's a terrible makeout
And
scene.
yeah, then they pan upwards, and then you see they're panning out next to like robot bodies.
Well, they were already there.
Yeah. I was working at the lab, Wooly, one night.
So Joe's new plan is like, hey, FYI,
Fly.
there's a secret rocket to Earth
It's an escape pod that only
Yeah.
carries one fucking person.
that we can take.
That he and only he knows about.
Yeah, I
Right.
think it was more presented like this. She's like, "Where are we gonna go?" He's like, "Listen, dummy, there's a rocket off Earth. We're gonna go to it." She's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" He's like, "You're so dumb.
So
I'm gonna take you to it, and I've known about it the whole time. So let's get out of here."
right,
Yeah, I want to talk with the engineers of this fucking escape pod too, and we need to design an escape pod for this planet.
I
one
built-
person.
yeah. How many people should it hold?
Well, first
One.
of all, I only design claw machines for stuffed animals, so I'm gonna house it in a machine like that. So could we work with that kind of?
Yeah. Also, that claw did nothing.
Yeah,
It moved around.
It moved.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Anyway, so earlier
They were already taking the stuffed animals. Remember,
That's
people
true.
left the planet.
So, Paul, you were saying, like, why you would never leave the bunker. If I was Joe, I would have been knowing this. I'm like, guys, I got to go out for smokes.
Yeah, I gotta go get some more red cigarettes.
Yeah, we're running low on red cigarettes, so I'm going to take my bracelet. Give me, like, I'll be back in 3 days. 5 days, tops.
Yes, that's why I said, like, knowing our perspective earlier in the film, there is an escape pod off this damn planet. Joe's aware of it. There's that.
And it only works for officers, a.k.a. him.
Right.
Literally just him.
So yeah, I totally would have left too. Also knowing like these things are like these screamers are evolving and they're swarming over, and like we just left his home like facility. That's gone. That's exploded. But yeah, knowing there was a way out, I would have totally gotten the hell out of there. I would have found a way. Oh my god.
Yeah. Big time.
I think everybody would have seen, Joe, where are you going? I'm going downstairs.
Yeah.
No. I know what you're up to. As they follow him down there. I think they were up to Joe's plan, and they had...
They're just keeping an eye on him.
Yeah, keep an eye on that guy.
Lamar, in the biz, we call it a J play. That's Joe's plan. J play.
Jay Plays didn't play.
No.
No, it did not.
Okay.
Let's see. They're in the shaft.
They're in the shaft.
This was like the only scenery change too. Like all of a sudden it was snowing for some reason, and
Yeah.
this thing was probably an hour away.
Probably.
Oh yeah. It takes forever. You need a lot of montages. You got
Yeah.
to walk around. Again, there's a lot of walking around in this movie.
Yeah.
That just really should have been cut out. Real shame.
That's fair. But they do get to the rocket.
Yeah.
And the machine claw is broken.
You know, Red Rocket.
Even though it doesn't fucking do anything. They're fucking around with it. And who shows up? Our old buddy Chuck.
Oh, yeah.
But he's got a fucking teardrop tattoo now, like Darsh. And he's all fucky.
Yeah, he punches Joe right in the face.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah,
That's on
but
prison time.
then they start fighting over the giant claw. There's a lot of shoving, but eventually Chuck, who is a robot, gets lasered a bit, and he doesn't like that. He doesn't like that one bit, and he gets laser dusted. There's it's like a Mission Impossible style laser beams that clearly, like, if you fall into them, you will get cut, shocked, severed,
Or exploded.
yeah, but
Disintegrate to nothing.
but these blue laser beams, if any part of your body touches them, you just explode. Like you put your pinky in, explode.
Why were these laser beams here?
I think some of them were guarding this. So, like, how about this? That I don't know. I think there was initially more. There was more beams that was like guarding the ship. That was like housing it. But he turned off a button, but those didn't turn off. So why were they there? I have no idea. Like that's.
And they were like on the sides, like next to the wall, pointing up and at an angle. And yeah, like they literally would not protect anything. Nothing.
Rats.
Yeah, they protect from dust.
Right.
Those dust beams.
Yeah.
That was super weird. But yeah, so Chuck is dead. That's kind of sad.
Yeah.
But they open the spaceship, and Jessica's like, "Hey, buddy, there's only really room and life support for one person. Did you not know this?" And apparently he didn't, or did. I don't know.
No, it's unclear.
Yeah, he's like.
But he's like, you go.
Yeah, he's like, you're gonna go. She's like, only you know how to like fly this and command this. And he says, no, we could just program it. It's really easy. And later we find out, no, it's not.
He's doing buttons.
Yeah, there's like 4,000 things you need to do.
There's like 40 flips of switches, 25 buttons. He's radioing in command codes and telling people like his like rank and like number. I'm like, like she would just like float out in space and die. Like, good job. So he's like, listen, let's flip a coin. And it goes back to this ancient coin he has that has never been mentioned again. He's like, flip it. And he's like, it doesn't matter. She does flip it. I'm sorry. And it doesn't matter. He throws like some kind of
He throws a
cloth on
glove.
it. Yeah. He's like, you're getting on there. And then he's like, no. And then, there's another Jessica. She's like, I am Jessica G&T.
He's like, giggity.
And she's like, oh, there's many of us. And he's like, oh my God.
Double giggity.
But here's a little twist. The Jessica he has been with, who he was going to send away, yes, she is a robot, but she's in love with him.
Oh.
She's found love. I have found love. You have given me your G&T.
My lubricants.
She fell in love after
Gee.
he confessed that he was going to get a procedure to get robot legs. It's going to be expensive, but totally worth
Totally
it.
worth it. God damn it.
So they start fighting, and that's where you really see the lasers. Like, they're pushing each other and shoving each other, but like they get like cut a little and singed. Like, just my shoulder went in, my leg went in. To these very awkwardly placed lasers. They're like, again, like 7 feet away from the ship. I don't know why they're there.
Like, we need to protect this 6-inch section right here.
But unfortunately, evil Jessica kills good Jessica.
Good.
With a big smile on her face while she's killing her.
Yeah.
She is like Terminex. She was programmed to feel compassion and love as she does this. She feels pleasure.
Is she a pleasure bot?
She is a pleasure bot.
Actually, she is, yeah.
But Joe comes in. Joe's not liking it. He grabs like a flare gun, a future flare gun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it a flare gun?
I don't know what it is.
I mean, it was in the glove box of the spaceship. So.
But it's like one rocket. It doesn't explode like a flare. Yeah, I mean that's a good question. I just don't know.
No one knows.
No,
It doesn't really do a whole lot, though.
I mean, it kills her.
Kind of.
Well, it shoots her in the chest and she's dead.
I thought she just was like, ha ha ha.
No,
Jump.
no, this Jessica's dead.
I thought this was
No,
the
she gets
exhaust from
incinerated by the
incinerated by the
fucking ship.
exhaust
Yeah,
from the
exhaust.
ship.
That's when
Well, yeah, it stops her.
her titties melt off.
Oh, yeah.
How can you forget the titties?
Yeah.
titty
well,
belt.
I'm sorry. Probably because I was blinded that she turns into like a weird demon first.
That's true. There was a weird
I-
CGI going on.
Yeah, there was
there,
like a CGI. Like she turns into a demon, and I'm like, oh, that's nothing to do with this film whatsoever. What the hell just happened? But the Screamers are a complicated culture.
They are.
They really are.
I think
They're
the,
from the
boost,
land down under.
the booster turned on because he set the this escape pod on a timer.
Yeah.
And it's counting down. So they were
Set to
fighting.
boost.
They were fighting behind this exhaust thing, and it burned the first one.
Sinjikins.
She's dead.
Yeah, like
Ouchie-roo.
we need to use this emergency escape vehicle in 20 minutes.
Yeah, so at one point in time, you're like, there's like a clock that you see. It's like 8 minutes and 30 seconds, and then 7 minutes. It's jumping around. At this point in time, it's like 30 seconds until launch. He's like, Jessica, I'll miss you. Like 30 seconds, like, dude, you've got to get in this damn ship. Like, it's close to you, but it's 20 feet away from you. There are latches and levers and seatbelts, and it's going to space, dude. Like, you gotta get in and shut the door. Like, chop, chop.
Yeah, it's like the other Jessica, she has like a little life left, and he's spending the last 30 seconds having
Yeah.
this conversation with her.
Yeah.
And
He's like, does your mouth still work?
And unfortunately, it didn't. And
No.
she finally shut down.
Weak.
And you can hear the 30 seconds left in the background. He's like, all right, I gotta go in this
Time
thing.
to hit the
I
old
guess."
dusty trail.
Yeah, and he goes and launches.
Yeah.
He does it.
It takes him forever to switches, like you said, Paul. Just complicated.
No.
Self-driving my ass. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on here. But he is launched into space, and everything's going well. And it looks like he's going to some kind of base. He radios in. They're like, we're expecting you. Joe, this is fantastic. And he takes off his like weird gauntlet and he throws it in the back seat. And he has one of the teddy bears that one of the robot boys had. And then we see the bears coming to life a little bit like a Chucky doll.
Well,
its arms are moving.
Was it coming to life, or was it just because of like 0 G gravity at that point in time?
It's like the totem in Inception. You'll never know.
Yeah.
Like
Well, not until we watch Scanners 2.
Yeah.
Or
Screamers too. Yeah.
So we'll never know.
Yeah.
There we go.
The world will never know. Well, before we get into our final views on Screamers, feel free to reach out to us at rabbittroopsuckspodcast@gmail.com. Do you have a movie you would like us to review? Do you have ideas about movies? Are you a movie? Are we in a movie? Oh my God, we're in a movie. We're in Screamers.
Are you a screamer?
Are you a screamer? Let us know. What evolved state of screamer are you in? Is it time for the scream?
Here we go.
Nah.
That wasn't it.
That's a laugher.
Do you need to label those buttons?
How about this? There we go.
Okay.
Screamers!
This movie would have been better if that was the screamer.
Exactly, yeah.
Feel free to reach out to us at Rabbit Troop, or go to rabbittroopsucks.com proper. There are photos, there are links to merchandise, there are episodes that stream. But as always, we stream where any podcast streams, not just on a website. Google has turned into YouTube. You could use the iPhone app, which is just, podcasts, or really anything else that gets you there. Social media, Instagram, Facebook, the huge. But yeah, let us know if there's anything you would like us to review. And as always, thanks for listening. Feel free to review us 5 out of 5 stars. What did everyone think about Screamers 1995?
I think Jeremy should go first because it was his...
Yeah.
Jeremy's choice.
I like this movie in my youth, thinking, watching it now and like kind of analyzing it, it's not a good movie. The special effects suck. I think Peter Weller is probably the best actor out of the movie. He has moments when he's yelling where it's kind of a little over the top, but it's entertaining. I probably won't ever watch this movie again. But it was fun to watch with you guys and discuss.
Are you telling me you're going to watch this tonight?
Yeah. I'm going to watch this on the plane tomorrow.
There you go, back to back, so you can really get it seeped in.
We never highlighted this. This whole story is written by Philip K. Dick, and it's a short story called Second Variety. I would gladly read this short story at any point in time. I've read some Philip K. Dick before. I think it'd be fun. I understand what Jeremy's saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just jump in, I guess, with that. I've already kind of noted my qualms with this movie. The ups and downs. The downs, it's too many effing walking around scenes. I mean, it is 15 to 20 minutes of dead weight. Like, that is felt. Like, when it happens, you're just like, get on with it. And it happens several times in the film. I also think Peter Weller does well in this. I think the story is very intriguing. You could tell this is based on a short story because you could like see where people were like, where do we go to next? Or let's have some filler. And I don't think that a short story necessarily needs to be that way if someone sits down with it and like really works with it. This seems like a rushed adaptation where it's like, we have a short story, but we've got to make this movie in like the next 2 months. Like, okay, I've read it. I don't know where to go, but I'm just going to make it up as I go along. Everyone's a robot in this, which is kind of insane. I kind of like that in certain ways. In some ways, I'm like, come on. Like, everyone's a robot all the time. Except for Ace. You're my buddy, Ace. I enjoyed watching it. I have not seen this in at least, I would say, 20 years. I don't know if I would put this on my rotation again. But it was fun enough to watch, at least with everyone in this room. So I would... we've talked about this before. Should you watch this alone? I would not have liked this as much if I watched this alone. I'm not really recommending this film, but it would kind of be in a boring time if I was alone and I watched this.
If you're a Peter Weller completionist, you got to watch this movie.
For all of them out there.
Yeah.
They're called Old Wellers.
Go to the old Wellers. I gotta echo your sentiment about watching this movie with people who like to sit around and watch movies with. You can totally do that and have fun with it. I wouldn't recommend watching this alone, or if you're bored, just like, hey, I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to enjoy this movie or not. So definitely recommend it, watching it with friends. Peter Weller is, he's decent. I mean, I just know Peter Weller from RoboCop. I'm sorry.
He plays the same character in the the second Star Trek movie with Chris Pine. The exact same character.
Just say "God damn it" a lot.
Yeah, if you like Peter Weller in that Star Trek movie, you'll like this movie.
I also like the Ace. I thought he was pretty. I liked him as a character. I think that actor is all right. You can tell the way he's passionate about stuff. Just every scene that he's in, he seems like the one with the most life in him, where everyone else is just, well, if you will, a robot. Ace just felt more real to me than everybody else in this movie.
He was less robotic.
Yes. Other than that, I have not much to say about this movie, except that one weird scene, the montage scene with the music. What the hell was that song and why?
Dude.
That was so out of place. I feel like they added that in afterwards.
I tried to Shazam it and nothing came up.
Is it listed on the soundtrack?
It sounded
info?
like B-roll Sheryl Crow.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
It was a Sheryl Crow song.
For 95, that probably adds up. Maybe it was Sheryl Crow.
That
I
was
don't know.
fake Sheryl Crow.
Damn. Weird.
Rarel row.
Yeah, Barrel Corvid.
Damn it. Collin, what's your sentiment on this movie?
I didn't really like it very much. I mean, like the same reason you guys said. Like if it wasn't for hanging out and watching it together, I probably wouldn't have finished it.
Flip the channel.
Yeah, like I don't know. It was just like
There you go.
yeah, it was kind of boring. Like there was nothing about this movie that there aren't other movies that do each aspect better. Like kind of lacked as like a sci-fi flick. Kind
Yeah.
of lacked as like it wasn't very scary. Like as things were going on, we're like, oh, it kind of reminds me of this, and almost always this was something better than what this movie is. But this would be an awesome movie to like, you know, watch with a group of friends and kind of clown on together. It's a good movie for that, I think.
I agree with Collin too, that perspective of like this movie is just shy of 30 years old. That I think that's playing into I've not seen this movie for at least 20 plus years. But Jeremy, I'm not blaming you by any means. Like you're like, I watched it when I was younger. You probably watched it closer to 95, 96. I think I definitely would have liked this movie way more if I saw it in 95, 96, 97.
Yeah.
I've just seen so much since then that I'm like, I feel sometimes I'm like, this movie needs to pick a lane. It needs to be a little more humorous. It needs to be a little more adventurous. It needs to be a little more sci-fi.
We're just more intelligent people now, like analyzing something that we saw when we weren't very intelligent.
It's probably because of the G&T.
Yeah, all the G&Ts have helped us.
Yeah, we needed
Analyze
more
this movie
G&T.
better.
Yeah, this would have been way better.
This review would have been way different.
Peter Weller's awesome.
What are you drinking? Mama Sophia's? Like, Colin, there's still
It's like
time.
Casadores. What is this fucking called?
Roscoe Gloria or
Yeah.
something.
Oh yeah, Rancho Gloria.
Mommy no-nos.
Yeah,
Gloria's Secret.
yeah. There's no secret.
There's
there.
no secret anymore. It's out.
Yeah. I'm gonna be. I mean, I don't disagree with anything that any of you said, but I like this movie when it came out. I still think it's kind of fun to watch. The pacing. I get what Paul's talking about, but this movie kind of flew by for me. Like we've watched movies that were a half an hour shorter that felt a million years longer. My biggest disappointment with this movie is that there are things that happen at the beginning that seem like they're setting up a cooler movie than this is.
Yes.
Like the general who was dead 2 years ago in the mysterious airplane.
Yeah, they mentioned like a nuclear like reactor core on this ship that crashed, and then it never is mentioned.
again. Yeah, like there's so much cool setup. Like I love a good dick book.
Right.
And that has been recorded.
Adding that to the Dropbox. And like, I mean, I like his novels. I like his storytelling. This definitely feels like it. Yeah, I don't know. I enjoy this movie. It's not good, but I would gladly watch it again.
That's fair.
You know what? Like with all of that stuff, they're really setting up a really cool sequel. It's like a huge chunk of the movie was like both the Alliance and the corporation are giving up on this planet because of the radioactive nature of the stuff that they're mining, and they found the same element on a different planet that doesn't have the same radioactive stuff, which is why they sent the ship with the radioactive stuff.
Right.
And like with the sequels, like now they have to fight for that planet. That's going to be a sweet movie.
Unfortunately, I'll bet that's not what the second movie
No.
No.
It is not, but the
It's like
setup is
the
there.
G&T
The world
machines
building
come to
is
life.
done.
Yeah.
G&T.
We are here
Yeah.
because it's G&T.
Dynamite. Yeah.
Well, one day, Screamers Part 2. You might be on our list, even if it's not recorded. I could see us watching it one day.
Yeah.
But coming up next, this is kind of an interesting film, especially for Mike and I. We're almost 100 episodes into Rabbit Troop Sucks, but it kind of all starts with one idea. And next episode from 1988, Hell Comes to Frogtown. And we'll tell you a little bit about our origin and this movie and how it kind of connects next time around. I believe Collin is the only one who has not seen this one.
Evidently, I'm the only one who hasn't seen any movie.
That's not true, Collin. Remember Silverado? I was like, I think I saw it, and I remember I did see it, but like such an early, or like I was so young, like, and I only remembered fragments. Like, there's been other movies you've called too. So
I've seen this movie. I've seen Hell Comes to Frogtown after I had watched They Live.
yeah, Roddy Piper.
And I watched it one time, and I have not seen it since then.
Well, you're gonna watch why Hell's Coming to Frogtown.
Yeah.
And you're gonna learn about
Whoa!
We're gonna learn about a lot of things. Yeah, but hopefully you had fun listening to us. Jeremy, it is, as always, awesome to have you actually in the studio.
Yeah.
And all of us together, a rarity. So we hope you're back around these parts and in Denver. Anything you want to do next time around?
I don't know. I want to go, like, the next time I'm in Denver, I would like to go out to the mountains, but I wouldn't want to do that if I were here just for, like, a short weekend like I am now. Just because then, like, the Colorado Rockies are
You
so
just go to the
fucking
mountains
awesome.
and you sled right back down to Denver.
Yeah.
And then you just record.
I want to hang glide from Red Rocks down into downtown.
That's how you do it. That's how we
See
all
if
do
they'll
it.
let me do that.
That's how we commute. It's the Colorado way.
We're a community of hang gliders.
Yeah, you just get a couple.
Yeah.
Just go and borrow one and neighbors. Go around. Well, thanks for listening. As always, hopefully you enjoyed Screamers. Hopefully you enjoyed us all in a studio. But yeah, as always, Rabbit Troop Sucks.